You know, there was a time that a lot of guys, they call them shade tree mechanics. They could get out in the woods or where they're at, their front yard, and they could rebuild and they could work on a car. And little by little, they kept adding technology and smart control, and they've been adding all this stuff. And you got to have specialized tools, diagnostics, now to work on a car. Was it really that important to do all that crap? I mean, was it just a way of eliminating jobs? Because now you got to go in, if you got a check engine light on, and they look at that check engine light and they say, this is what's wrong with your car. You know, in the old days, mechanic, he could actually listen to the car or the truck, and he could tell you what was wrong. If it was low on blinker fluid, or right tire didn't have enough air, you know, one of the cylinders, one of the valves, there was some tapping, maybe you had to tighten something, and they could tell just from experience of working on the motor. I've actually been to places to have my car worked on. They had a problem, but the mechanic, he plugged in his little, quote unquote, I use that term lightly, mechanic. So anyway, he plugged in his little machine and it didn't tell him anything. And he goes, I don't know what's wrong with your car. The computer doesn't tell me anything. They're not mechanics. They find a problem because the computer says, here boy, here's your stick. We'll throw it, you go get it, and you can fix it. You know, I actually think someone ought to actually go back, if possible, you know, $100,000 for a truck, you know, oil changes is off the wall. It just costs a fortune to even own a car. And the thing is, it's crap. They're made of, I mean, you get them too close to a flame and they're gonna melt on the side of the road. How about just a simple, nice, hard-working truck, none of the crap inside, a good motor, and something a guy can work on himself. It passes a lot of laws, but take the laws off of it, so you just got a good working truck. It doesn't even have to have a radio, an AM, FM radio. Doesn't have to have power this, power that. I can roll the windows up. Just a basic truck that I can afford for around $15,000, $20,000. I don't need all this crap. I don't need to go down the road and surround stereo and multiverse, you know, garbage. I just want a truck that I can take out in the woods. I want to go hunting, go fishing. I want a truck that will get the job done. I want a truck that if I destroy it, it's not like destroying a future home or career or my retirement just to own one. The price is out of control. People can't afford them. And when they do, they're signing their life away. How many people have $1,000 a month to throw in these cars, considering this month we're setting a new record on debt not paid on these cars? I know you got to pay the employees, the parts, and everything's going up, but everything's going to crash. When it goes up, it's got to come down. So it's getting ready to go bad, folks. And hopefully you got a car that's old enough that you can actually get the parts and they're not being deceptive. I've had mechanics just flat out steal from us over in Springfield, Missouri. Just steal. One mechanic, you take it, oh, you need a total rebuild motor. Take it to another mechanic. Oh, you got a sensor out on the transmission. And did you have the oil change? Because you got a new oil filter, but they never changed the oil. You gotta watch. There's some good men out there, good women who know how to work on cars. But like anything, you got some thief and liars. Ask for your parts back. Ask for proof that there was new oil put in. When you pull out of the parking lot, check that oil. Make sure that's clean oil that's went in your car. They actually did what they said. Make sure they actually started the car up and that oil was ran into the oil filter and then they top it off. That way you don't end up going, wow, and burn up your motor. Not all idiots' lights work, and not all idiots work either. So we have went forward, but we went backward. And it really cut a lot of people out. Most of the time you need a good, if you're a carpenter or some type of guy that needs his truck to work with, you're making it so hard a man can't even make a living for his family. It's just getting ridiculous. It all needs to crash and start in the embers and rebuild again. Chevy and Ford used to be, GMC, They used to be the trucks of America. I'm not sure what they are any now. I know right now if I want a dependable truck, I'll get myself a Toyota. I do drive a Ford diesel, 7.3. It's like Ford. You had a motor that worked, and then you're gonna go to a piece of crap that didn't work. How does that make sense? That's because you guys don't want it to work, do you? You'd rather have a crappy motor, so it has to be fixed, than something that can give a good diesel that's gonna get 1,000,000 miles. And they knew it. How about a Geo? I drove a Chevy Geo. Who would want a car like that? It only gets 50 miles a gallon. It could be needed today. Small little 3-cylinder, 4-cylinder car. I drove one. Why do you guys destroy what works or is succeeding? Because you really don't give a crap about the environment anyway. It's the life's blood of pumping more money into the system and draining it from the people and killing the working class. Good job. Pretty soon it's going to kill us all. Just like this truck, you better figure out how to diagnose the problem. Otherwise, you are the problem, and like any disease, it has to be dealt with. Just saying. You ain't going to make a living if you can't sell anything. Have a good day.